So we talked a lot about big. As important are, when you've got those big things, you just don't want to do big things and stand there, with nothing around you. You want to make sure that you've got some kind of texture. And I think one of the things in Toronto that we've been very successful in doing is combining heritage and texture to create these very interesting places. You're not quite sure what they are. They're partly heritage, they're partly retail, they're partly arts, and these are all old buildings dotted around the city that we've been fixing. They're partly a kind of natural environment, and this is the Borough Market in London, and also food. That combination of heritage, arts, culture, restoration, food, activity, nature, is a very potent mix, and you can collectively you turn it into a different kind of destination that isn't the big destination that I spoke of earlier, but has a kind of urban authenticity to it, kind of almost a hyped authenticity, if that's possible. That is makes a very interesting place. Other quick things that we've been looking at that people are doing. We looked at the big Biopolis things, very expensive, very high rents. There's a real market for cheap, cheerful, friendly space. This is an old television factory in Manchester that's been turned into a place where your office is a cargo container. And you rent it by the day, by the week, by the month, by the year, stupidly cheap. And there's a ping pong table in the middle of the floor and a cafe bar, and that's what makes an environment. Same things happened in London with the old Olympic Telecommunications Center, a huge barn of a building that's been turned into super cheap space for startup. You've got to remember in the world that pharma and big engineering drive Biopolis and Nanopolis, but kids drive Meteoropolis, and kids with no money in their pockets who want to do a startup business. So you've got to make sure that you create that kind of space for them. And the modern economy, I think, is turning more to this kind of space than it is to that very high cost, high service space.